3%, according to a credit rating agency, Augusto and Co. Unemployment actually refers to the share of labor force that is without work but available for and actually seeking employment. Years back, a bachelor's degree was the ticket out of poverty. Today, it's a certificate with almost no guarantees. And that takes us to what my guest of yesterday said, Hamzat Lawal, when he said, it's all right, now you have a certificate. What is your sabificate? What do you know? What's in you sabi? What are your skills? What's your exposure? What have you learned beyond the paper knowledge that you have acquired over the years? This is the Zuma Talking Point on CitizenFM 93.7. Of course, you do know that on the Zuma Talking Point, it's all about you. How can the citizens do better? What can the citizens do better? You know, it's basically about we citizens coming together to have a better country, understanding that it's up to us to put in the work. Today on the Zuma Talking Point, we will be looking at unemployment, the ways of tackling it, especially as it concerns us here in Nigeria. My guest today is a professor of mechatronics, a passionate acadopreneur, and someone who is extremely dedicated to and passionate about reducing unemployment in Nigeria. My guest today is Professor Abiodun Musa Aibinu, a professor of mechatronics engineering, a researcher in digital image processing, DIP, digital signal processing, DSP, artificial intelligence, and embedded. Professor Aibinu has participated and won several awards at various international and national exhibitions. He was a nominee for Promising Researcher and Best Teacher Award at the International Islamic University in Malaysia. He's also an alumnus of Blekinge Institute of Technology in Sweden, an author of several publications locally and internationally, a winner of several awards and also grants, a former HOD of Mechatronics Engineering Department of Federal University of Technology in Minna, and he's actually currently the Vice-Chancellor of UNIVERSITY-OFFA, better known as Summit University, a private university that is not for profit. It's a charity organization. It's a not-for-profit, a private university, I beg your pardon, of the not-for-profit charity organization Ansarudin Society of Nigeria. Professor Aibinu is a mentor to many giants within and outside the academia. Professor Aibinu is also, like I said earlier, extremely passionate about reducing unemployment in Nigeria and having young people engaged positively in nation building and contributing their quota to a better society. He joins me today to discuss the practical ways, practical being the keyword, of tackling unemployment in Nigeria. A very good morning to you, Professor.
Yeah, good morning to you also. How are you today?
I'm very fine, thank you, Prof. Good to have you on Zuma Talking Points this morning on CitizenFM 93.7.
It's my pleasure too, and I'm happy to be here this morning sharing how to reduce the unemployment rate in Nigeria.
You see, the unemployment rate in Nigeria is a hydra-headed problem. By the way, congratulations on your appointment as Vice-Chancellor of Summit University-OFFA.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Okay, I didn't want to miss that. So now, we need to... The funny problem is that the unemployment rate in Nigeria is a hydra-headed problem. And so you have a lot of graduates from the university, but then they're back home to the same parents who sent them to school with the hope that when they do graduate, they would at least be able to contribute their quota to the family. That is not happening. What exactly is our challenge, and why do we have such a high unemployment rate in Nigeria today, in your opinion?
Thanks a lot. Yeah. Thanks a lot for that question. In my opinion, we need to separate what is called certification from graduation. Mostly, what we have are certificated graduates. That, yeah, they know the ideas, but they don't understand how to turn it into business venture and startup ventures. So they have the certificate only, no skills and no idea on how to turn their certificate or their DYDX, so what I call the learning into startup and business venture, and that's one way or one thing that we are talking about under the academpreneurship. Academpreneurship simply means turning academic ideas into startup or business venture. So if we can transform our graduate or our learning approach to that, it will drastically reduce unemployment, if not eliminate it totally.
So you would say that the problem is with our education, the way we are being educated, is it?
The way we are being certificated, I can't say education, but certification. Our certification process is totally wrong. We need to add, not skills only, but the process of turning that certificate into startup and business ventures.
Okay, now you have been a teacher, and I mean a lecturer for quite a while. You were the HOD of Mechatronics Engineering in Federal University of Technology, Minna, before taking up this appointment as the Vice-Chancellor of Summit University in Offa. That means that you are within that environment.
Exactly.
Okay, so if you were to enlighten us about how to turn that certificate to startups, how do you think we should go about it? What do you think maybe the nation, maybe the minister, maybe even the lecturers themselves, need to do to turn it around and ensure that people come out of schools not looking for unavailable employment?
Okay, thanks a lot regarding that question. Let's just take one out of numerous approaches we have studied and we have implemented on a pilot scale. Let's take the issue of final year project.
Okay.
Final year project. You will all agree with me at higher institution. Almost all the students, they are required as part of graduation requirement to conduct final year projects. So let's just look at that one. So final year project means that you have to apply what you have learned for the past few years and come up with something. So the first thing we need to do is to understand that one from the process of academpreneurship. So let's just use that one as a case study. So we have 8 steps in order to turn your final year project into business ventures or startup. Let's look at that one. Number 1, you need an idea. You need an idea that is coming up with an enriching idea. From your final year project, you should be able to do that. And that's why we have supervisors and less. And then during that process, you now move to the second stage, which has to do with do some market research. You can cover that under your literature review and less. And then the third step in turning that final year project into business venture is preparing a business plan. And then after preparing a business plan, we have what is called building your team. So building your team is another thing.
Professor Ibinu, I'm sorry, but I need to take you back a little bit. When students these days are, preparing for their final year projects, one of the first things they look at is the fact that this is in fulfillment of the completion, of your course, and so that you can get your BSc and all of that, However, right, you do have instances where these projects sometimes are even helped to be written for the student.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that exists.
I think we have to start from the philosophy that you have just mentioned, that just is in this project or what you are about doing is in fulfillment just for you to graduate. No, that is where the whole thing we get it wrong. We must change that philosophy and say this is not only in fulfillment of your graduation requirement, but also in turning that one into business ventures and be the CEO of your own company. So let me quickly answer what you have asked about people contracting the final year project that we have heard lot about that, and that still goes to when you tell them this is just for you to graduate. But when you tell them this is for you to move from unemployment zone to having your business, and not only having your business, employing and creating employment for others, that is going to change the thinking. Let's now quickly run through the 8 process needed for them to turn a final year project into business venture. Number 1, the idea. Number 2, market research. Number 3, business plan. Number 4, they must build a team while they're on campus. And then number 5, while still on campus, they must incorporate that business. And then number 6, while still on campus, as part of that project, they must look for funding. And then number 7, most higher institutions now have what you call workspace for them to start, and then working on the sales and marketing strategy. There is no way anybody or any student will take these 8 steps and they will not be able to turn a final year project to business ventures or startups. So when we start from that aim, it means that let's even talk about 10% success rate. Even if 10% success rate is high, let's just even talk about 1% success rate. On a yearly basis in Nigeria, we graduate over 1 million students or graduates. So just look at 10% of 1 million, or just 1% of that 1 million. You can see what we are talking about, that the unemployment labor or the unemployment rate will totally be decimated if only we turn our final year project into a process that can lead to startup. We are not talking about skill now. We are talking about business venture.
Which virtually the final year project is something that virtually all all the students have to go through. Prof,
exactly.
I'm sorry, I need to quickly take us back because some people will be hearing acadopreneurship for the first time. Can you define what acadopreneurship really is?
So let's look at even how we come about the acadopreneurship. Acadopreneurship is just a portmanteau, that is the fusion of 2 words, academic and entrepreneurship. When you fuse it together, that's what you call acadopreneurship. But what is the philosophy? What is acadopreneurship all about? Acadopreneurship simply means turning academic ideas, turning that academic theories, turning that academic process into startup or business ventures. That means that if you study computer science or any course, what you should be thinking about is how you are going to turn this thing into business venture or startups. Let's look at the final year student in the Department of Computer Science now. And the project and the final year project is about web or mobile app development. Normally, that student will say that I'm just to do this thing to graduate and go. But when you start talking to him and you start training him that no, it's not just for you to do this project and graduate and go, as they say, let people go. No, but it's for you to now start thinking about turning this thing into business venture, into startup, into being an employer of laborers and providing employment for your colleagues. You will see that the thinking will start changing. So there is need for us to go beyond just the requirement for graduation to process of eliminating or reducing unemployment in Nigeria, and at the same time creating what is called ecosystem, startup ecosystem.
What are startup ecosystems?
Okay, when we say ecosystem, the whole process of starting a business and that's what we mean around it, because you as a student in one department may be looking at maybe marketing, while someone is also looking at maybe the development or coding. Let me put it. So when you put everything together, it forms what is called like a community. So that's what I mean there.
Okay, so what you mean is that students in the higher institution can come together with what they have learned, from different departments and create like an office environment, like an organization, even within the university. Is that, if I got you right, is that what it means?
Exactly.
So the marketer will market the app that the computer scientist is building on. The mass comm maybe person who's studying advertisement will do the advertising and all of that. Is it?
Exactly.
Okay. Now
the university also comes into this.
Okay. Now you mentioned
the university also comes into this.
How does the university come? How does the university? Yes. Sorry, say that again, please.
Yeah, so quadruple helix. The university comes in and the society comes in under the quadruple helix.
Okay, quadruple helix. What is that?
Quadruple helix. Okay, we have four entities working together. Number one, academia. Number two, government. Number three, industry. And then number four, the society. Let me quickly explain. The academic, that's why we talk about academpreneurship. So that is where the student, the supervisor at the university comes in. What of the society? The society comes in because the students and the academia, they are developing a product for the use, for the community to use. And then where does the industry comes in? They partner together to get this product into the society. And where does the government comes in? Government fund higher institutions. And at the same time, from all these companies, from employment and the rest, they collect the tax back. They collect their tax back. And the industry for Sinico and the rest. So you can see those four entities are the people or are those that can really eliminate this or reduce this unemployment through the process of academpreneurship. Again, government, academia, industry, and the society. Academia cannot work alone. Your problem must be your work should be to solve the problem in the society. So when the student comes together or thinking about turning the final year project into business and less, it is about solving a problem or problems identified in the society.
Okay, so
industry comes in.
Okay.
And the industry comes in as for mentoring and then guiding them and investing. Why the government recoup the money spent on education from taxes and the employment generated from that conflict.
Okay, so what you are saying in essence is that to solve the unemployment problem in Nigeria, for example, young people need to start looking for the problems in the society and how to solve them, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Now, go ahead, please.
Please go on.
No, please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So young people need to come together because they are product of the society in the first instance. So they know the problems there. So what we need to do in the university is not just to be talking about theories and the ideas, is to now look at that process through academpreneurship, where they will now take it as a project in the final year study and then solve it and then turn into business because they are going back to the society after graduation.
Okay, some people say that one of our challenges in Nigeria is the way our education is given out, as in the way our children are educated. They say that right from primary school, you don't encourage that. The education system does not encourage thinking outside the box, and the thinking outside the box is actually what will, help people to think of how to solve problems. Is this something you agree with? Hello?
I mean, yes, yeah. I want you to come again, please.
Okay,
I think I lost
okay. Some people say that one of the challenges, because what the last thing, or one of the things you said in the last comment you made was that Nigerians need, especially the unemployed and young people, need to start looking for problems to solve in the society. Right. Now, some people are... Hello, are you there? Professor Ibino, are you there?
Yes, I'm...
Okay. Now,
Yes, I'm here. Yes, now?
Okay. Now, some people are of the opinion that the challenge that we really have in Nigeria, in young people looking for problems to solve and working towards solving it, is the way our education system is administered. That it doesn't teach the average young person to think outside the box. And so it makes it difficult to actually think of how to solve problems. What do you think about this? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, okay. Did you get the question?
Okay.
Prof, did you get the question?
Can you just summarize it? I think the network was misbehaving.
Sorry about that. What I said is, some people are of the opinion that the reason why many young people are not looking for how to solve problems in Nigeria is because of the kind of education that they have been given. That our educational system does not permit thinking outside the box. And I was asking that, what do you think about this? Do you think there is a problem with the way our education is administered, or is it just a societal problem?
Okay, thanks a lot for that question about either thinking outside the box or within the box or without the box itself. So that's one thing. So to me, it is not the educational system that is really at fault. We have to look at the community, at our psyche. Our psyche as of now is go and get that certificate so that you can use it to actually apply for job. It is not go and get empowered or go and get educated. Let's ask ourselves, if degree certificate is no longer a requirement for getting job, do you think most people will actually even enroll in the first instance?
Not likely. Hello? Oops. Okay, I'm having network issues. We'll take a quick break on the... Okay, hello, Prof, you're back. Okay, please go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. So the main issue is that we need to look at how we disseminate knowledge. So it's now about student-centered learning, where they are at the center of learning, and it's about experiential learning. So the curriculum or the educational system is not really at fault, but the society, the way we perceive knowledge and the way we perceive certificate. Nowadays, most lecturers, we are saying that in this 21st century, under this fourth industrial revolution, it is about facilitating learning, not about coming to class to lecture. Facilitating learning means that you are a facilitator to guide them on what are those things that they are to read, not that you must read this. Because 20, 30 years ago, lecturers also, they are the custodian of knowledge, that just one textbook, that's what they will be using to teach, and nobody has access to it. But now with access, with ICT, you have numerous textbooks at your disposal. But now as a lecturer, you are to facilitate that learning, or not what is used to be. So the society, I think we have to start from the society, and the perception and the psychology from the society must totally change if we are to address this.
It should change from what to what? It should change from what to what?
From being certificate-centered society to problem-solving society. That is, we should stop talking about getting certificated, but about getting knowledge to empower you and solve problems for the society.
Okay, it's CitizenFM 93.7. This is the Zuma Talking Point, and of course, you know that we try to at least make our society better by touching on some of the things that affect all of us as citizens. I'm KEMI Asheku. My guest this morning is Professor Aibinu Musa Abiodun, who is a professor of mechatronics engineering. He is also a former head of department, HOD of mechatronics engineering department in Federal University of Technology, Minna. But currently, he is the vice-chancellor of Summit University in Offa. And of course, we're looking at unemployment, the educational system, and how to actually fix this challenge of unemployment in our society. As we speak, unemployment in Nigeria is about 33%, okay? Yes, 33% as at 2022. It was much higher it was much higher, about 35% in 2021. We'll take a quick break. When we do come back, we'll be looking at more on how to fix the unemployment problem in Nigeria.
WaveX Pleasure Ride. Here at last. Join the safest, classiest, and cheapest taxi ride in town. WaveX Taxi Ride for absolute safety and comfort. Available in over 500 cities in Nigeria, Africa, Europe, and America. Download the app now from the Google Store.
All right, CitizenFM 93.7. You are listening to Zuma Headlines, and I have on the line with me Professor Musa Aibinu. I do have someone on the line. I haven't given off the phone lines yet, but I will get. Hello, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning. Please, I want to talk to Prof.
Oh, you want to talk to Prof? Prof is listening. Please go ahead.
Okay, Prof, I want to know what Prof and his other colleagues, the vice-chancellors, are doing to put pressure on the federal government to make sure that this ASO strike is resolved. It's really, really very worrisome to a lot of us who are parents.
Please, may I know your name?
My name is Dr. Kasi. I'm calling from Wuse.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Kasi. Okay, the Prof will respond to you. Prof, did you hear his question? Hello? Hello? Hello, Prof? Okay, it looks like I lost him for a while, but I'll get him back on the line. Hello, good morning, Prof. Good morning once again.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay.
This one is better.
Okay, thank you very much for holding the line, Professor Abiodun Musa Aibinu, who is the Vice-Chancellor of OFFA, which is actually Summit University-OFFA. I kind of like the name Sun. It means like they kind of shine. But then while you were off the line, someone called in and said that he would like to know what profs like you, vice-chancellors of other universities, are doing about putting pressure on the federal government to call off the ASU strike. I don't know if that is a question that is for you, but then I wonder if you will be willing to, talk about it.
Yes, okay. Actually, I'm a vice-chancellor of a private university, so nothing much I can say about that regarding the ongoing strike embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Nigerian University. So I will not want to talk about that right now.
All right, thank you very much. Don't forget 0818-2222-205 is the number to call. Summit University-OFFA actually is owned by the Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria, a not-for-profit organization. So you can understand Professor Abiodun Musa Aibinu's reservation about reacting to the ongoing ASU strike. We're still looking at unemployment in Nigeria and how to change the narrative on Zuma Talking Points this morning on CitizenFM 93.7. Prof, while you were talking earlier, you mentioned experiential learning. What is experiential learning and how does it change anything in terms of unemployment? Hello, Prof, are you there?
Thanks a lot.
Yes, all right.
Yeah, thanks a lot by asking about experiential learning. So let me explain it in a very basic term. Now, when you experience something, you learn it better. Let's look at the way we teach velocity, the way we teach acceleration. So let's just take that one as a case study. Normally, we teach them as per is the rate of change of distance with respect to time, and they memorize it, and we now come up with equations and the rest. But when we now talk about rate of change of volume with time also, we build on that one. And student doesn't experience, they don't know the meaning of it. But a simple experiment of telling them that when you want to shower in the morning or fill a bucket, how do you open the tap? Is it very little, or you open it very much and so that the water can gush out? So what you are just telling them is that opening it small means that the rate of change of that volume, that is the VDT, is very small. Or when you send them that when you actually want to cover a distance and you are under pressure, what determines your step size, or how do you take your step size? Is it very little, or you ensure that you move very fast? So that is what velocity is.
Prof, I think I want to go back to secondary school. I need to be taught again. I wish they had taught me physics like this. If they had taught me physics like this, I would have had a C.
So the whole lot of it is about experiencing it. Okay, let's look at again. Some of us memorize what is called tropical rainforest. And they have evergreen leaf, they don't shed. So you are taught all those characteristics and you memorize it. But why can't you tell them, or why can't you say, okay, during our next excursion, we are going to be moving from maybe from Lagos to Ibadan, that look at the characteristic of those places when you go along that line. So you will see them very tall, or their leaves always green, so they experience it instead of just memorizing all those characteristics. So that's one of the key aspects of experiential learning. We need to move from the way we teach and the way we learn. Initially, I have said the society. When the society start to change their psyche, then the teaching methodology, the teaching philosophy, the teaching pedagogy must also change. But so that's what we are now canvassing, that it is experiential learning. Or you tell them that all these things that we are teaching you, and you now give them project, and they teach each other, disseminate that knowledge among themselves. So that's what experiential learning has come to do. Let's look at another one. Let's look at another one there is what you call negotiation, and that when you want to buy gala inside traffic, or you want to buy anything inside traffic, what happens? There will be offer, how much is it? And the guy will respond, and you now start negotiating. And you must know that within 30 seconds, you must seal the deal, pay, and collect your. So that's one way to tell them about negotiation.
Prof, do you still lecture, or are you just administrative now as a vice-chancellor? Because I'd like to sit in a class where you lecture, actually.
Okay, I still lecture, and mostly I share experience, and part of what I talk about nowadays are some 7 skills that actually brand some. That is, there's no way you can have those 7 skills and graduate and become unemployed.
What are those skills?
So one is the knowledge of, you have to be financially literate. Financial literacy is one. Number 2, we call leadership skill, and then we talk about energy skill, that is renewable or clean energy skill. We talk about global citizenship skill. We talk about academic skill. We also talk about history, heritage, and storytelling. Most of us, we don't know how to tell our story. That's another thing. And the last one, it is what we call artificial intelligence and ICT skill. And nowadays, with the way things are going, as I've mentioned, we are in the 4th industrial revolution. The knowledge of artificial intelligence is so much important. Most of us shop on Jumia and less, and you have a recommender.
Prof, please don't mention any brand again, no. If not, I will send you an invoice. Most of us shop online. That's fine.
Yes, most of us shop online and less. And then when we shop online, we will see the recommender system in action, recommending that the person that bought this also bought this one. So the knowledge of artificial intelligence to assist you in the way you do your business is so much important. So those are the 7 skills that nowadays I talk about. about, and I share.
Prof, we don't have enough time, but then we will try to cover as many as possible. I want to start from the seventh skill, the artificial intelligence skill. How can the average person, say perhaps someone who's unemployed and trying to find a job, learn about artificial intelligence and IT?
Okay, thanks a lot about that. First of all, I've said everything we must do. We must look back and talk about experiential learning. The first thing we need to tell them is that they must be able to even understand what artificial intelligence is from their local dialect, or what is it all about.
Okay, Prof, in Yoruba, what is artificial intelligence?
Okay, agbelero.
And Agbelero. Okay, what does that mean? Okay.
Agbelero means that in country after water. The knowledge by God is natural and is in. So, but how do we transfer that knowledge from man to machine? That is what artificial intelligence is all about. And we tell them, is how you apply it on your daily, in everything you do, and how do you apply it to your business.
Prof, I'm trying to squeeze out as much as possible so that we can take a lot in this in the next 18 minutes. If I was to apply artificial intelligence, for example, to my basic life, what will that be?
Okay, fine. Thanks a lot. So, your basic life, we have to look at it. Okay, what exactly do you do on a daily basis?
I talk on radio.
How do you? Yes, so you talking on radio means that you have to even monitor some other stations, and then you have to search for some keywords and the rest, and you must have an alert that so radio is talking about this particular topic that is of interest to you. So how do you do that? You can't be monitoring all the stations at the same time. So what you just have to do is to have a system that you key in some keywords there, and when anybody on any station talk about that thing, you receive an update information that so station is talking about this. Wow. And again, you can also use it. You have some recognized voice or some people that when they talk, you want to listen to them. And you may not have information about when they are going to talk. You can just do voice recognition and say, whenever you hear this voice on any radio station, quickly alert me on my phone. So you can see how the application of artificial intelligence.
Wait, are you saying I can do that on my phone?
You can do it on your phone, but you need certain app, you need certain system to be configured in order to do that. It is called voice recognition and voice identification system. So once you have it as plugged into your phone, you can have that one. Or your comment on issues on a particular issue. Like now, you may have talked about democracy, and someone just need to get your view about democracy on all your presentations and this. Just by typing or saying that KEMI's view on democracy, you should be able to have all those information at your fingertips. So that is on artificial. And again, the way you can have a reminders system that is intelligent and be able to alert you that.
Okay, Prof, you are giving too much. You are giving a lot of juice. Okay, and so I want us to take history and heritage storytelling. How can I apply that to everyday life, and how can the average person who is probably unemployed right now apply that to start earning something, from it?
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah. So what really happened about that skill is that even for someone to be unemployed, apart from the normal issue and rest, there are certain things that he has not learned to tell his own or her own story. Everybody wants to listen, but when you invite such a person to an interview, the way they talk, the way they conduct themselves, at times put you off as the interviewer. So the first thing we normally teach those who are unemployed and applying for work is you need to learn how to tell your story, and that includes presentation, your CV, your cover letter, the way you dress to interview, and the way you answer questions during interview. And then about history, about heritage. Most of us doesn't even know from where we are coming from or our history address. And then we pass through university, we will not even be able to talk about the history of the university, the heritage. So it affects the way interviewer also view us during interview. So the first thing we normally tell them is that you must be proud of your story and you must be able to tell your story. So we start from the CV building, the cover letter building, and then teaching them how to attend interviews so that they can tell their story. Also, for those who doesn't want to attend interview and want to start their business, that one involves pitching. How do you pitch your business within 30 seconds? Taking that case of someone selling traffic as a case study, experiential. And we also give them some tasks about, go and market this, and come back. So that is about story. About history, most of us have forgotten our history and we don't even appreciate what has happened to us in the past. And if you don't know your history, how will you be able to plan for today and also see tomorrow?
Even the Yorubas say that the river that forgets its source, will dry up. Benny. Okay, we move on from that, and then the next skill I think is entrepreneurship. You were moving a bit too fast. I didn't get it. That's just above history and heritage storytelling. And I think we have we've looked at entrepreneurship comprehensively. Let's look at global citizenship, being a global citizen.
Okay. Global citizenship is another skill we think most of those who are looking for job lacks in almost all perspectives. Most of them understand one thing. They can tweet about events happening in any part of the world, but they are not looking for a job around the world. There are lots of remote work that they can do, but most of them, they limit social media interaction to just video upload and just the normal thing they are used to. So we tell them that under the global citizenship, stop thinking that you must only get employment within Nigeria. You may start to look beyond Nigeria. And what are those things you need to know? You must be culturally intelligent. So we teach them also cultural intelligence.
What is cultural intelligence?
Okay, thanks a lot. That is ability to know about others people's culture and know what are the things that you must do and you must not do, and how to work and how to relate with them. So you must be culturally intelligent if you really need to go beyond the shore of your own land. Okay,
Prof, what you're saying to the world today, because CitizenFM is online, is that you may be unemployed in Nigeria, but you could be and be living in Nigeria, but you could be employed anywhere else in the world.
We have a lot of our graduates that they sleep and eat in Nigeria, but they resume work in another part of the world, and they close there and they come back. So why? That is working from the comfort of your home. So to your question, the answer is definitely yes. With the pandemic that happened and less, it has opened up much more opportunities as per working around the world. So unemployment, we also normally tell them that they should be looking beyond Nigeria. That is, you can be unemployed in Nigeria. Maybe your skills are not are not required in Nigeria, but without even traveling out of Nigeria, you can get employment and be working in another part of the world.
Okay,
so
Prof, while you were talking about the global citizenship, there was something you made mention of, the fact that many young people are just content with uploading and having fun on social media when they can actually use it for business, right?
Exactly. There are a lot of professional platforms that once you build your CV, you tell your story. Building your CV is part of storytelling, writing your cover letter, and knowing. So there are lots of professional or job-related platforms around the world. That once you upload your content, your CV, your profile, people start looking for you and start talking to you about getting either working physically or remotely for them. So what we are telling the youth around that side is that let's go beyond just uploading our Owambe picture on some of our platforms. But let us also now be looking at how to benefit from it. And again, why some are also not employed or unemployed or fail to get employment has to do with the content they have uploaded on some of the social media handles of platform. E.g., some of these employers do what is called background check, and you are busy insulting someone and just putting your name on the search engine will reveal everything about you, and some will now do background check, who is this person and then what does he stand for. So Yoruba will say, some of them have totally blocked themselves from getting employed because of the content they uploaded some years or days ago online. So that is part of what we are telling them, that about global citizenship, you need to know your rights and you need to know the limit to your freedom of expression.
Professor Musa Abiodun Aibinu, you won't believe it, we have less than 5 minutes to go, and yet we haven't covered the 7 points you have mentioned. But then I'm interested a little bit in asking some personal questions. What is the difference between being the head of the department of Federal University of Technology in Minna and now being the vice-chancellor of a not-for-profit university, talking about Summit University in Offa? What difference does it make for you personally?
Personally, totally, very, very nice experience, in the sense that when we were implementing or experimenting some of this idea, we had a very small population size, which is equivalent to a department. Then now, we now have a broader platform where we can implement and influence life. So that is one thing. Working in a small ocean initially, now you have the big ocean to actually work with, and then we have the red ocean and the blue ocean. So coming to Summit University to me is more or less like a blue ocean where we can now influence life better and also position our graduates so that at the university we now show out what is called industry fitted graduates. Most of us know about factory fitted AC, but now we now have a platform where we can actually achieve that. So that is number one.
The university, number two. Go ahead, please.
Number two is that the amount of the lives we are going to be influencing positively and the community positively has actually changed. So from a community, now we are now talking about influencing lives around the country and around the world. So those are the things that have changed.
The university that you are the vice-chancellor of is a private university, but is also owned by a not-for-profit organization. Is it?
Yes. You are totally right.
What many of us know about private universities is that it will cost about an arm and a tooth to get educated. Does your university also maintain that not-for-profit thingy with the university, or is it slightly for profit?
Okay, in our university, as you have said, is a non-for-profit organization that owns, and that also reflects in everything we do. And so our school fee and less is basically for those not too rich and not too extremely poor. So we champion that across board. That is, this university is owned by a non-for-profit, and our charges must also reflect that. So we target not extremely poor people, but those who really want quality education, and they are not so rich also. So that is what we do here. Basically, we are not into this education business for making profit, but to enlighten and empower Nigerians. And our focus has to do with graduating
industry fitted.
That will be fitted to the industry. That you don't have to train them and this. And if you ask, have we tested it before? Yes, that's also what we did at Federal University of Technology, at my previous
place of assignment, University of Technology.
Yes,
okay.
And we are now implementing it here also, like a pilot scheme now to a bigger scheme.
Oh, amazing. Well, Prof, we wish you all the best. We thank you. We know that the last time you were here with us, you were not a vice-chancellor at that time. So we want to believe that Citizen FM is part of what... Don't mind me. We want to believe that...
I totally agree with that, because you have to talk about your reach and if you network and the rest. So I give it to CitizenFM for being part of the story.
Thank you very, very much, Professor Abiodun Musa Ibinu, for being on the program this morning. We wish you all the best. We look forward to, hearing about your students from the university. You are the vice-chancellor now, making great exploits in the society and not being part of the unemployment bracket. All right? We look forward to that. And we wish you all the best in molding lives. Thank you very much once again for being on the program this morning.
Thanks a lot for this opportunity, and then looking forward to more interactions with you, with Citizen FM.
Thank you very much, Prof. All right, and that's our package this morning on Zuma Talking Point on Citizen FM 93.7. Unemployment in Nigeria, it basically rests again with the society. We need to start looking for certificated individuals and not certificated individuals, because at the end of the day, a certificate just remains a paper. It's about what you can do and what you can do with what you know and what you have been taught. I am KEMI Sheku. My loved ones call me Kem. I apologize. I did see your phone calls, but then this is very, very important, and I needed to get as much juice out of the Professor Ibinu as much as possible. Thank you once again for listening to the show. Thank you for trying to call, and thank you for not taking it against me that I did not take your call. My name is Kemi Ashiku once again, and I will be here, God willing, tomorrow for another package of the Zuma Talking Points. Up next is the news update, and of course you do know that Insight will see you on the other side of the news update. Do stay with Citizen FM 93.7.
WaveX Pleasure Ride. Here at last. Join the safest, classiest, and cheapest taxi ride in town. WaveX Taxi Ride for absolute safety and comfort. Available in over 500 cities in Nigeria, Africa, Europe, and America. Download the app now from the Google Store.